Have you ever made a compromise where you felt you had to sacrifice more than your partner, friend, family member, or colleague just to keep the peace between the two of you? Often it's you who gives in and then has to live with the consequences. And for some reason, this happens to you more often than you actually want it to. Well, then it's about time to set some healthy boundaries and communicate them clearly to those around you. And yes, that also applies for your best friend or even your boss. In this video, I share my thoughts on how to compromise without losing yourself as a woman in 2024. Watch to discover how you can navigate compromise without sacrificing who you are. Hi there and welcome to my YouTube channel Ready, Set, Shine. If you're new here, my name is Maria Anukege. I'm an entrepreneur, VIP women's coach, marketing expert, wife, mom, and much more. But today I'm here just for you to show you how to live your best everyday life and be your best self as a busy woman as you are. So let's not waste time and dive into today's topic. We're exploring the concept of compromise and its impact on personal identity, especially for us women. We all know that finding the balance between meeting others halfway while staying true to our identity is key. As women, we often face the daunting task of balancing social expectations with our authentic selves. The pressure to conform can sometimes lead us to compromise our values, beliefs, and even our dreams. It's a constant struggle to stay true to who we are in a world that tries to define us. So let's take a moment to reflect on the compromises women may feel compelled to make. From altering our appearance to fit beauty standards, to silencing our voices to avoid being labeled as too assertive. It's essential to recognize these challenges and their impact on our well-being. However, it is often the so-called everyday compromises that we consider insignificant and not worth mentioning that damage our self-worth. Let's take a look at this using a vivid example in a so-called mom edition. If you're a stay-at-home mom and you're all day with your beautiful children, taking care of them, the household, and everything in between, this can be quite challenging. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience. There is no job in the world that demands more of you as a woman than being a stay-at-home mom. So if you're in this situation, you will most likely be completely exhausted at the end of your day. And if you are lucky enough to live with your children's father, after a certain point in time, you will start looking at the clock more often and start counting the minutes until your partner gets home from work. It's not because you miss your partner so much, but you're simply longing for a break and some me time. Not that I have experienced this before. Well, surprise, surprise, your partner is thinking the same, but he is not thinking about your me time. He is thinking about, and now comes the shocking part, his me time. Wait, what? Why? He's been working all day, maybe had to deal with unfriendly clients, maybe had some difficult discussions with his boss, or whatever it may be. The point is, he seems to be just as exhausted as you are. So while you're waiting for your partner to finally come home and take care of his children, your partner is only thinking about taking care of his behind on the couch. So what happens when he comes home? Let's take a look at this in 3 scenarios. First scenario. As soon as your partner opens the door, you hand over his kids, make yourself a drink and a snack, you disappear to finally watch your favorite Netflix series or read your new book from Jordan B. Peterson. You can do that. I just don't know how helpful this action will be for your relationship in the future, especially if it happens every day when your partner comes home. So I will rather not recommend it. Second scenario. Your partner does exactly what you did in the first scenario and disappears after his hello. Oh no, we don't want that either. And now the third scenario. Together you find a compromise where both of you can finally enjoy some me time at the end of your day. We all agree that the third scenario is the best one, so let's stick with it. Now it's time to enter into an open dialogue and look for possible solutions in which both parties gain and lose equally. And that is the key word. Equally. Of course, it is difficult to measure this one. Everyone sees and feels differently, but at the end of the compromise, I shouldn't have the feeling that I've been cheated out of a solution, be it from the other person or even worse, from myself. What many women often do in these situations is give in too quickly. They think to themselves, it's not worth the discussion. I've already got through most of the day anyway. It annoys me. But it's only 2 hours before they have to go to sleep anyway, so who cares? But remember, a good compromise is a win-lose situation. I get something, I lose something. And that should also apply to your partner in this case. So imagine how you compromise here and there and then again, here and there and then again. However, with this approach, you subconsciously tell yourself repeatedly that your needs are secondary. On top of that, what if I tell you as a marketing and communication expert that we human beings communicate over 90% subconsciously and only 10% consciously? By now, all your alarm bells should ring and you should immediately start paying close attention to what you are actually feeding your subconscious with and ask yourself how many so-called insignificant compromises do you make in your everyday life? Or let me rephrase that. How often do you communicate to your subconscious mind that your needs come second? And this brings me directly to your today's task. After watching this video, go through your current compromises and analyze which statement is true. Is it really a compromise or rather a sacrifice? Be aware of how this shapes your everyday life and dare to make changes if you don't like the result of this list. To wrap things up, I am aware that our constant willingness to compromise, together with our overconformity in society, are not the only reasons why we women do not have the status in the world that we actually deserve. But it is a small piece of the puzzle that we women can change in our everyday lives. And that can have a huge long-term impact if we only just stop compromising ourselves. It's about honoring your values and boundaries while navigating social expectations. You are still a good mom, even if you enjoy spending time without your children. Please remember that maintaining your personal identity and your boundaries are non-negotiable to nobody. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, please share, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, and most important, go out there and shine. See you next time.